We've got the latest mini crawler release from FMS. This is the Atlas V2. So this is basically an updated version of the previous Atlas. So there's three main differences with this new Atlas. So if we have a look under the body, you'll actually see the differences are we've actually got a 130 sized motor. We've actually got their R3A ESC and receiver, which is the same as you get in the FCX24. You've also got an updated gearbox that actually has metal gears. So that's your three main differences. With that ESC and receiver combo, you get the G3 transmitter. So this is the same transmitter that comes with the FCX24. It's a 3-channel transmitter. Really nice transmitter in the hand. This is one of my favourite mini crawler transmitters to use. They're just so nice and comfortable to use. Nice response and everything, you know, all the kind of standard functionality you expect, you know, trim, dual rate adjustment, everything like that. So yeah, really nice transmitter. Unfortunately, this doesn't have a 2-speed, even though you've got the 3-channel transmitter. So as you can see from the box, you get two different colours available, the grey or the red. I've got the red one. It's a nice kind of candy looking kind of red. I do like this colour. You know, you've got clear windows, you don't have an interior, you've got some little stickers and stuff like that for the details. It's a shame you've got these kind of Atlas stickers but here. They look like they're not finished to me. It's a shame they kind of spoil it a little bit. But on the rear, you know, you've got your full cage, you've got your spare wheel, you've got your stacks and everything. One of the other cool things is on the back, you've got this little toolbox, which if I can get it open, there we go, it's quite stiff. You could actually fit a spare battery in there if you wanted to, but yeah, it's not the easiest thing to get to and get open, to be honest. One thing that has surprised me is obviously they have updated it and it is the V2, but we've still got friction shocks. You know, with all the ones they've been doing recently, you would have expected them to do oil-filled shocks. So if you're not familiar with the original Atlas model, you know, it's based on this kind of old school truck. Your cab just lifts off. Your battery tray is in here, but unfortunately it is proper old school with elastic bands, like we've gone back to the 80s or something. But it's just a magnet mount body, which is pretty cool, but it's a bit kind of, you know, it'd be nice if it went a bit further back, to be honest, or completely came off, so it was a bit easier to get to everything underneath. But you've got obviously your 6 axles. They are just straight axles. There's no portals or anything like that on this one. You can see you've got a 4-link on the rear 2 axles, and then you've got a 3-link with a panhard bar on your front axle. It's all like plastic axles, plastic drive shafts. Like I said, it is metal gears in the gearbox. Tyres, they've actually changed the wheels and tyres as well. So they are beadlock wheels. They are vented. There's no foams in them. But, you know, they're quite meaty tyres. Now, you might be able to see with some of the mud and stuff like that. I have already ran this. I did actually record a full unboxing video. Really nice peeling off the plastic, you know, proper bit of ASMR and everything. But unfortunately, my amazingly useless Rode wireless microphone decided to basically poop itself for the entire video. So now I'm just recording off my phone. Anyway, ran over back to the truck. It is a cool looking little truck. I do like a truck, and obviously I love a 6x6. Sometimes it is kind of cheating. It's a shame while they were revising this that they didn't do a 2-speed and they didn't do oil-filled shocks. Now you might have spotted in the background, I do actually have, it's not one of the FMS Atlas models, but it is it's like an Abysma. They're all the same thing basically, but this is one of the kind of original ones, just with a different body. Pretty much everything's the same. You know, you've got your kind of magnet mounted body. You can see that you've got a much smaller gearbox in this one, which just has a 0.30 size motor, and this one does have different electronics in it. The slow speed control on this thing was pretty much rubbish. Didn't have really any punch in it with that really small size motor, and again, you know, just friction shocks, no oil filled shocks. So let's check out what else comes in the box with this one. So obviously, like I said, you get your G3 transmitter. You just need 4 AAA batteries to run this thing. You get your instruction manual. It does look like they've taken the FCX24 Unimog manual and just repurposed it, but there are some typos. You can see up here, it says about a 2-speed transmission, which it doesn't have. It also mentions here about the Unimog, so yeah, there's a few kind of like little things to take with a pinch of salt in here. With this one, you actually get a 600 milliamp hour 2S LiPo battery, which is actually quite nice. You get a decent bit of runtime off a 600 milliamp. You probably get a good, like, you know, 40 minutes maybe runtime. You get your usual FMS 2-amp USB charger. You get your usual wheel wrench tool, and with this one as well, you do actually get some harder springs. So if you did want to stiffen up that suspension, I mean, to be honest, I'd rather just fit oil-filled shocks, but yeah, you do get stiffer springs if you do want to fit them. Now, in terms of its scale, obviously it says it's an 18th scale. I think realistically it's more like a 24th scale. You know, this is an FMS LC80, which they're actually slightly small for an 18th scale. You've got an SCX24 over here, which you can see is much more similar. I mean, considering this is meant to be a truck, you know, you'd think it'd be much bigger than this. So yeah, I think it is more of a 24th scale, to be honest, than an 18th scale. So let's get it powered on. So we're just going to turn the transmitter on. Now, with the hinged body design, it is a little bit fiddly to get the battery in. You know, it's you got to kind of just get your hands in there, ram it in under the elastic band, kind of lift it up and over and just kind of send it, really. And then, especially if you've got big hands like me, it's a bit tricky. And then, if we just turn it on with a power switch under here. So if you press the bind button on the transmitter, you get your LED lights. So you've got headlights on the front. You've got tail lights on the rear, no PESI indicators, no reverse lights, anything like that. It does say on the box and in the instructions that it's just a 1 gram steering servo, which I'd be really surprised if it is just a 1 gram steering servo. You know, it's fairly responsive. If you see it on the desk, you know, it's not amazing, but it's all right. You know, normally they're like a 9 gram steering servo in most of the FCX24s and that. So yeah, I'd be surprised if it is just a 1 gram, but that's what it says it is. It comes out the box in just forward brake reverse, which I'm not a fan of forward brake reverse. Now, you are meant to be able to change these by just basically double pressing the bind button, pressing the reverse button once, and then pressing the bind button again, but I couldn't get it to work on this, and it just seems stuck in forward brake reverse. So normally it's dead simple, do it on all my FCX24s, but this one just does not want to seem to go in forward reverse, which is my preferred method of driving, you know, especially if you want to try and like catch yourself when it's going to tip over, whack it in reverse. But anyway, what can you do? Now, like I said, I have already ran it. We'll get to the running footage in a minute of it running on the rocks and on the trail, but just to do a quick bench test to see the slow speed control. So one of the things I was kind of disappointed with this, to be honest, was the slow speed control. Normally the slow speed control on the FCX24s is fantastic, but if we just try it on this one, so basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the throttle rate up until it starts moving on its own. So there we go, it's moving on its own. Put the transmitter over here. But you can see as soon as it touches those tyres, it's just getting stuck. If we turn the throttle rate up a bit more. Nope, still nothing. Bit more. Bit more. Yeah, it's thinking about it. Look, as soon as we move those tyres, it's just going to start driving off. So let's just try it again with just a little bit of fine throttle. Just see what the slow speed control's like. So I'm going to see... You see how it's just kind of getting stuck? Normally, you know, you just keep crawling over it. And then it kind of just shoots off. So yeah, it's not the best slow speed control, unfortunately, which is a shame because the electronics are really good on these ESCs and everything. But I think it's overgeared, and that's our problem. So let's get to the running footage of it on the rocks on the trail so you can see what you think, and then I'll just give you my final thoughts. A little bit of hesitation there. Let's see what these tyres are like, and obviously having that extra axle. Slow speed control doesn't seem the best, to be honest, which is surprising because normally, you know, with this ESC and everything, on the FCX24s, it's normally really good, but look, I'm like, okay, we're struggling a bit. Surprised, to be honest. Go straight for the gatekeeper. Oh, getting stuck with that big old bumper. Let's try and go a slightly different angle. Nice bit of flex there. Right, let's see if we can get up here. Right, yeah, let's see. You can hear it. And I'm on the throttle. But it's not going anywhere. And I bet if I give it a bit more throttle. There we go, look. Bit of ground clearance there. Yeah, slow speed control is not the best, to be honest. The other thing I did just notice as well is that when I'm on full lock, it is kind of jamming it up. I'll show you. So if I turn on full lock and then I try to drive, you can see it's kind of hopping. And every now and again, there you go, it jams up. So I think you probably want to run it at slightly less dual rate. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit so it's not full and see if that helps. Okay, so I just turned it down 3 and now that seems much better. Look, we've got constant drive. It's not kind of twisting it. So yeah, so you probably don't want to run it full dual rate. Let's see if that slow speed control is any better now, and we'll run the up and over. See, we definitely need some foams or something in there. Nice and easy for a 6x6. Again, look, we're on full lock, look. Well, yeah, look, we're locked and it just hesitates. It's definitely struggling with the slow speed control. That rear axle combo does look cooler, doesn't it? I do love a 6x6. Okay, let's try the next hardest section, which is just coming up here. See how it does. See, it keeps kind of stopping. Yes, I'm surprised at this, to be quite honest. You know, normally with all the FCX 24s and everything, you know, slow speed control is fantastic, but maybe obviously because they got the 2-speed, the gearing's slightly different. But this is struggling. Look, we're just... Oh, and obviously not having that forward reverse is annoying as well. Right, let's try again. Yeah. Come on. Obviously having that extra axle, it's making it, you know, quite a beast in terms of, like, you know, just being able to crawl over stuff, but it is definitely struggling. Oh, look at that. Hang on, I'll stop talking, man. Look at that. That was cool. That's what it's about with the 6x6. Now, I doubt it's going to make it up the merry-go-round because of how long it is, but, you know, we've got to give it a try. Let's move around a minute. Oh, that forward brake reverse is driving me crazy. That's a big old beast, isn't it? Yeah, this is... We need some angle on this thing to turn around. Come on. Ah, come on. Oh, okay, I mean, it is long, to be fair. I don't think we're going to get around there, are we? Oh, we tried. Yeah, I mean, it does look cool, doesn't it? And obviously with that extra axle, you know, I think with some upgrades, it'd be really, really cool. But yeah, that slow speed control is a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. And yeah, really could do with some foams or something in the tyres. It is struggling a bit, but let's go see what it's like on the trail, and then yeah, you can see what you think overall. Okay, let's start with something simple, just a little bit of a hill climb. See what this slow speed control is like on the grip on these tyres. See if we can make use of the extra axle. Try and go as slow as I can. Let's see, look, we're coming up against an obstacle again. Look, I'm on the throttle. We got no slow speed control. And give it a bit more throttle, then we get going. Yeah, it's kind of like running a TRX4M, this, isn't it? Bit disappointing. So let's test out the grip on the tyres. We've got a little bit of an incline here with some loose kind of mud and dirt. Oh, there we go, look, power 6x6, that was easy, nice. Let's try the usual route test. I got my doubts as to whether it's going to do this, to be honest, but let's give it a try. So straight away getting hung up on the first bit. Let's see if we can wheel speed it over. Yeah, the downside's obviously having that kind of big gap between the two axles. Come on. Getting hung up there a lot. Obviously it is a smaller scale. It's not really 18th scale, it's more 24th scale, to be quite honest. This no forward reverse is, yeah, annoying. I don't like forward brake reverse. Oh, we're not going to get up there, are we? Okay, let's try full send. Come on. Okay, we don't normally do this, but let's try going over to a slightly different angle. A lot easier. Yeah, there we go. That was easy though. Okay, the next section, I'll be surprised if it gets up here when we couldn't even get the first bit. You can see we're struggling with that slow speed control again. And obviously our ground clearance. Let's try a slightly different angle. Oh, I was thinking about it. It would surprise me if we end up breaking something. Come on, let's see if we can send it. It's struggling, isn't it? We could do with a second gear and a bit more punch, and you can see there that it hesitates as it gets to something. Then we're going to get up here, are we? Let's try just a slightly different angle again. Come on! That's not happening, is it? That's a shame.
Okay, let's see what it's like coming up to these little routes here. See if we come to a stop. Oh, it's not too bad as long as you keep a fairly decent throttle. I do like seeing those axles move. That is cool. See if we can get some nice suspension movement coming along here. Or we just come to a complete stop. One of the two. Stuck on some mud. Oh man, we're literally like beached on a bit of mud. With those big meaty mud tyres, let's see how it does through some nice sloppy mud. Oh yeah, that didn't get us very far, did it? Oh, go on. Oh, we're into the thick stuff now. Go on. That is proper thick and gloopy stuff there. Okay, fair dues, that actually did a pretty decent job. I like seeing those axles moving as well. Got another nice muddy section along here, some dips and stuff, work that suspension. Yeah, it definitely jams up every now and again. Everyone might be stuck. I think we got ourselves stuck. Let's see if we can back it up, if we can actually get this thing into reverse. Oh, we're gonna get stuck on that twig. Ah, nice. Didn't think it would do that. Ah, stuck again. It's actually not doing too bad through this bit, to be fair. You know, it does get hung up every now and again, but other than the stopping every now and again, it's actually doing an alright job. Nice and deep there. Let's just do that one again, because we've got a nice deep little trough there, look. Yeah, that's more like it. Test out that waterproof power switch. So let's just test out its wheel speed. So you can see it's not going to win any awards for speed racing, but you know, obviously it doesn't have a 2-speed, so it's not going to be the fastest thing in the world, but you know, it's a decent amount of trail speed.
So what did you think of its performance on the rocks and on the trail? I got to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed. You know, I'm a huge fan of the FCX24, the FCX18. I mean, the FCX18 LC80, and if you've seen my K10 farm truck build, I absolutely love them. But this just seemed like it was just lacking in some features. You know, it really needed, I think, a 2-speed gearbox with that better slow speed control. It didn't have a massive amount of punch to be able to kind of hop us over obstacles and stuff like that. So I think, you know, it's got potential if you did want to upgrade it and do some modifications to it. And obviously being a 6x6, you know, it is kind of cheating if you chuck some cool tyres on it and, you know, you improve that performance. It would probably be a little beast, but out of the box, I think there's definitely better mini crawlers out there. So this one's actually only going to be available on Amazon. They're not going to be selling it on the FMS website that they normally do. So I'll put a link in the description to the Amazon store if you want to pick it up. It's going to be $139 for this one. Now, when we're talking about FMS rigs, if you do want to win a brand new FCX18 LC80 your choice of colour for just £1, which is just over $1, then check out the raffle link on my description. There's still about, well, by the time this video goes up, there's probably like 8 to 10 days left on the raffle. So yeah, get in there and get your tickets before the raffle ends to get yourself a brand new FCX18 LC80. But anyway, let me know what you think of this latest V2 Atlas. Drop me a comment, got any questions. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.